Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the West Coast POPCast. We know it's been a week, but you guys are still here. You're still faithful. You're still watching, and we appreciate that. This is the West Coast POPCast, and I'm joined by the two greatest co-hosts that Santa could deliver me. First off, let's introduce the main man slash the provider slash the name stealer supreme. Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing so good. After watching Black Adam, I now know that I can ignore the DCU until James Gunn fix it.
And of course, we got the final boss, the fantasy slayer himself. Knock, how you doing?
The fantasy slayer who's trying to stay alive in the fantasy playoffs, who just lost $20 betting on France in the World Cup. Shout out my guy Mbappe, but it's been a good week. Glad to be back with the guys, man. And thanks for everyone joining in the chat.
Very true. Shout out to Primetime in the chat already. How you doing, Primetime? We've got some good stuff to talk about, but of course, if you know us, you know every year a certain time pops up when we must give the devil and the angels their due. We're talking about the third annual Poppy Awards.
Yes, sir.
The only thing
Back
more
and
valuable
better
than
than ever.
money.
I think Impact Wrestling is going to sweep up and clean up this year.
Of course, because they're the fucking janitors of the whole thing.
Get the brooms.
Knock, you know how much willpower it took me not to name an award, the Impact Award, and just give it to the worst underperforming SOB out there. Attila, how you doing? Great to see you. Before we get to the poppies, though, we're going to jump into a week in recap. I don't think we really have that much to talk about the week we missed, so we're going to focus on this week. Monday Night Raw, what's going on?
Hold on. We're gonna pump the brakes real quick. I think I said it in the preambles, the pre-show discussion. Last week we will be talking about Impact Wrestling's candidate for Match of the Year.
Yes.
I know Datilla saw it. I know you all saw it. Josh Alexander, the world champion, in the main event, went toe to toe with Speedball Mike Bailey for 1 hour. For an hour, these guys were killing it, back and forth outside the ring, hold for hold. Only for Josh Alexander to squeeze one out in the end. This match was so good. They got so much squeeze out the win. Squeeze out the win. This match was so good. It got so much buzz on Twitter and everywhere. Match of the Year candidacy. Eric and Zach, if you haven't watched it, it's your lucky day. It's free on YouTube right now. The full match. Impact Wrestling on YouTube right now. Watch the full match. Josh Alexander versus Speedball Mike Bailey, who stole the show last week for an hour. Went backstage to standing ovations. Standing ovations backstage. This was like Britt versus Thunder Rosa. This was Michaels versus Taker. Come on, man. Hour long? Come on. Brett versus the Bulldog. Check it out.
Terrible.
I actually did watch it because it's the only free thing that Impact has offered in the last like 5 years. It was really good, but you know.
Yes, sir.
They did murder someone the week before.
You know how Impact never was mentioned on this show till you came around.
That is not true at all.
Can we get to the good part now? Can we get to
we can get to
Triple H's? You know what? No. You know what? We're gonna do this differently.
We got Impact Wrestling coming back around.
I'm not putting this stupid Impact logo back on the screen more than once. So go ahead, talk about Impact this week too.
Oh man, we'll get the good stuff out the way. Everyone, come one, come all. The good stuff is here. Your New Japan Strong Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns. There may not be a donkey on the screen for this, but the Motor City Machine Guns, right, are your now three-time TNA Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. They got the victory last week over Rhino and what's his name? Heath Slater, the man that got kids. Good victory. They're double champions. Put the Motor City Machine Guns in the Hall of Fame. One of the top 5 greatest tag teams of all time. The ones who put the Young Bucks on the map, by the way. The ones who people steal the moves from every single time I watch Raw or any type of wrestling. They steal moves from Motor City Machine Guns all the time. Last thing I will say. Jordan Grace and Mickie James had their sit down. Jordan Grace says, I'm finally giving Mickie James a moment. Mickie James says, hold on, honey. I've had plenty of moments. But this time I'm taking the moment. I'm taking your title with me. Mickie James versus Jordan Grace coming down hard to kill. Check it out. Impact is on fire right now, man. And hey, Eric, who's top 10 in the PWI Unlimited top wrestlers in the world? You know, the Octopus, the leader of the foundation, Jonathan Gresham, the husband of Jordan Grace, has signed exclusively to Impact Wrestling. So if you want to watch the man with all the holes, you're going to tune in every Thursday to watch Impact Wrestling.
So you're telling me... So Jonathan Gresham loses his home. He loses ROH, the place that he loved. And Impact just swoops in like some kind of swindler and says, hey, little boy, you want to work with us, pal?
Well, let me tell you, man.
Not going to get as much money.
If you watch Thor Ragnarok, Odin told Thor and Loki, Asgard is not a place. It is a people. They lost their home, but they found a new one. They built even better. Shout out to Jonathan Gresham, man. He's going to be Impact World Champion soon enough. Who is this?
They get arrested for spousal abuse at
is this Monday Night Raw?
Battle of Los Angeles. He's fighting his wife at PWG. I mean, I'm saying that's actually kind of a cool thing because they can both go against themselves. So
yeah, I mean, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Work
that'd
for
be interesting.
Johnny Canvas.
It'll be crazy. I think Jordan's a little bigger than him, so it'll be a little interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Cool trading stuff out there if you want to look online.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. I mean, Mia Yim and Keith Lee fought before. That'll be interesting.
Did they? Ooh.
Yeah, they've had a match together before.
Not in Impact.
Indies. Not an Impact, because Keith Lee wasn't an Impact. But that was
smart man.
That was his loss.
That's a smart man. His loss. Right there. You know what? Since we're doing this whole week out of order, we're not going to go to Monday Night Raw yet. We are going to go over to SmackDown Live, because do you guys know what happened on SmackDown Live?
You're trying to
a malnourished old man showed up.
Trying to run Zach off the show.
Do you guys? So fuck Christmas, because it's Cena Miss, baby. Cena is here. He's delivering the goodies. He got a text from Kevin Flippin' Owens, and Kevin sent him the peach emoji, the Santa emoji, all kinds of emojis. And thanks to Kevin, we get to keep the streak alive. Forget the Undertaker streak. That streak is dead. That streak is buried. We're talking about the man who's wrestled once every year since, 2002? John Cena. Zach, are you happy about this? Isn't this crazy? John Cena is going to wrestle. He's going to wrestle with Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn, against Roman Reigns. He is going to put the SmackDown on some players. Holla, holla, in a tag match. Can you dig it? Sucker.
John Cena sucks. Dun, 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 dun. John Cena
You know what?
sucks.
I can't lie. It feels good to actually see, no offense to the AJ Styles of the world, but it feels good to see a real pro wrestler wrestle again in 2022. It feels good. And dare I say, Santa can take a break this year, because there's no present in the present that can compare to John Cena running down that ramp with whatever color he may wear.
I hope he has a Titus World slide when he comes in that ramp.
He's going to slide his way to victory. And even if Vince comes back, no matter what happens, John Cena saved pro wrestling in 2022.
Zach, did you catch any more SmackDown? Either good stuff, the IC Championship match, Walter versus Ricochet.
Dave, before we get into that, I just want to let everyone know it is wintertime. Flu season is upon us, and Cenitis is upon us as well. As you can see, a withering old man appeared on SmackDown outside of his house because his wife wouldn't let him inside because he had it so bad. He has to quarantine outside his garage, apparently, it looks like. We can't see him usually, and this time we saw about 60% of him. He's withering away faster than my hairline. I do believe that John Cena might not even make it to SmackDown. If we can get a Make-A-Wish kid to visit him and bring him some food, some vitamins, and get this man bulked up like a real man should look.
See what happens. Even Superman has some aging. So Lex Luthor sees Superman aging and he has to strike. That's an unfair comparison?
I think Lex Luthor would actually.
Let me tell you about aging. This is like, again, unfortunately watched Black Adam last night. This was, if you watch Black Adam is Black Adam as The Rock, all big and swole, and then he plays Black Adam before he becomes Black Adam. They CGI him on a Captain America First Avenger style body.
Gosh.
It's very awkward. This was John Cena on Friday Night SmackDown. Yes. But Gunther and Ricochet, man, that was match of the week for me. That was so good.
Yeah, stole it, man. Stole it like like nobody's business. Ricochet, and it made it feel like a important match too, man. They were building Ricochet up for weeks now, and Gunther's been the best IC champion in years. Great stuff. Rumor is he might face Brock Lesnar at Mania. I'm all for it.
Yeah,
Night 2.
I'd check that out. I'd love to see how they produce that, because you have Gunther get thrown around like everyone else does, or does he fight back?
Ooh.
He fights back. I think you 50-50 that kind of style and make both men look strong. I think Brock would appreciate it too.
Yeah. Does Brock take one of those chops? Is Brock getting paid enough to take a chop?
He has to. I think he will. I think he'll respect Walter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's not Braun Strowman.
True that. Anything else happen on SmackDown before we go backwards?
I'm gonna give credit to LA Knight. The Uncle Howdy stuff wasn't produced as tightly as I thought it should have been, but LA Knight did such a good job doing the Bray Wyatt voice and everything. He's playing a heel very well to kind of another heel character. But Uncle Howdy is not Bray Wyatt apparently, so he could be anybody. Let us know in the chat who you think Uncle Howdy actually
Dallas.
is.
This point has to be Bo.
It has to be.
Which, cool for Bray for bringing them back in. I don't know where he's just on this farm with Liv, but good for him. Anything else?
I think from SmackDown, I think that's it. I mean, Damage Control, I believe, retained their titles against Liv Morgan and Tegan Knox. No surprise there. Good match. On the outside, if you caught the highlights of this match, Liv Morgan getting offense in. Io Sky comes out of nowhere with a crazy drop kick, and Liv can sell. Liv selling has been underrated over these past few years, man. She's on fire.
Oh yeah. She's nominated for something in the Poppies, so stay tuned, stick around.
Ooh. Something that probably won't get an award for me is their new song. Again, the AC/DC one worked fine, but I know you got to make a new one. But it sounds too much like the Raw theme song. And Top Dollar, accidents happen. I guess I'd just say lay off the guy. Even Michael Cole had to dig in on commentary saying there's a reason he doesn't do that often. So
they were killing him.
Yeah.
He posted on Twitter later saying like his legs gave out in the match, so he couldn't hit it like he did. I've seen him hit it on the indies before. He posts a video all the time of him jumping out the ring, but it's not the cleanest. So I think he should, I don't know, maybe just hold off on that one.
I'm guessing I'll see on Botchamania soon.
Most likely.
Okay.
Luckily, he is all right.
Okay. The Tilla saying that her guess for Uncle Howdy is Dutch because he would hold on to his jacket like Dutch would.
Good point. And he was with Vincent at the NXT taping, so that's a good one.
All right. Well, let's go on back to Monday. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. What is going on?
Honestly, not too much. Bayley fought Alexa Bliss. Alexa took it. Now she's going to face Bianca Belair. And then when being thanked by Bianca, this showed up. And she almost hit the Sister Abigail on Bianca, and then it went away. So if you watch the match, she has flesh-colored things in her ears. Those were for the back to let her know when the image was appearing because she was not facing it. So I thought that was a nice touch for production.
Okay. And a lot happened on Raw this week. Tragedy happened. The almighty, the undefeated former two-time WWE champion, TNA Impact World Champion, Bobby Lashley was unceremoniously, unjustly, and unimaginably fired on Monday Night Raw by the dastardly Adam Pearce.
What? Gotta get rid of some of these Impact guys. You gotta make room for some real superstars, so I get it.
It's unbelievable. It's just criminal. Seth Rollins was talking shit about him, saying, "You're not." I told you weren't as strong as Brock Lesnar and all this nonsense. Bobby Lashley is the top dog. Treat him like it. Don't fire the guy. I know it's storyline, but maybe he's going to SmackDown. I don't know what he's doing. But get this man a strap. Get him the world title.
Oh, if he goes to SmackDown, him versus Roman would be, I guess, two guys just spearing each other over and over. You'd be for that?
Yeah. Hey, man. Big meaty men slapping meat. I'm all for it.
What about that line? What's up?
It's gold.
What else is going on, Raw?
Io and Candice had a good match. Io took that win. But yeah, 3 hours, man. Asuka teased her another new gimmick coming. She's in Japan now searching for that gimmick, so she will be coming back differently. She just took the L from Rhea Ripley.
She took the L, but you know who didn't take an L this week? The phenomenal AJ Styles. Mr. TNA himself gets a clean victory over Chad Gable.
Good match.
And this is the week Kurt Angle made his return, right? Or was that last week?
That was last week with the milk truck.
That was last week? Yeah, that was last week. We got Miz and Dexter Lumis going to be in a ladder match coming up, so that's going to be interesting. They're really. Are you still into this storyline? Because I'm kind of done.
Miz and Lumis.
Yeah.
I was over it while it was still going on. I was kind of hoping that him winning would be the end of it. Everyone would go their own ways. What's the ladder match for? Like, what are they fighting over?
Money.
What?
Miz had to give him money. He tries to steal it back. Loomis obviously doesn't want to give it back, so now he has to put up his money, the same amount. Winner takes it all in the ladder match.
I always say with,
Is Vince McMahon back?
Soon. I hate when money is used in the storyline. It's like it's fake money. No, we're never gonna see them spend it. What's
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. And I think the last thing, I think you touched on it, Zach. Alexa Bliss challenging Bianca Belair, teasing a heel turn a little bit too as well. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I love Bianca. I'm so surprised she had a title. I thought Bailey would have taken it off her by now.
Yeah, but I don't think they view Bailey as on the same level as the level Bianca, Becky, and Charlotte are on. Yeah. They clearly didn't treat Sasha that way, which is another story we'll get to in news and rumors.
Yeah, we got a lot of news and rumors touched on today.
A lot.
Yeah.
All right. Let's head on over to the white and gold. Finally got the logo updated. NXT.
Nothing really happened on here. I really don't want to talk about much on here. Scripps came back for no fucking reason. New Day came out and gave Brooks and Dunn a title match because they sang the national anthem, and Pretty Deadly wouldn't. Boringness on here. Valkyria made her debut. It was okay against Amari. They just fed Kemp to Duke. But the big thing is Roxy takes the belt from Mandy Rose after 413 days. We can talk about this in news and rumors, but that's how it ended.
That's how it ended, and it's a shame because it's a huge win for Roxy. I think she's super young, might be one of the youngest champions ever.
21.
Started the year as the first ever Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Ends the year as NXT champion and first ever Iron Survivor winner. So hell of a year.
Yeah, she don't have to turn on that red light anymore. Good for her. I was hoping you'd appreciate that one.
And then final update before you jump on. Are you still on the outs with Scripps? Do you still believe he doesn't exist, Eric?
No, I don't believe. I've seen footage and I don't believe it. Nobody with money would make a costume like that. Nah. This is some bullshit. This is
on the YouTube page. It says Scripps demolishes Ike Juro.
Demolishes whatever.
He's a powerhouse now.
If you want to know a fun part with Scripps, check out the birthday boy SCW. Happy birthday, Steve! If you're watching this, hope you're having a good one. He has some videos coming out for the end of the year, just like we have the Poppies night. So keep an eye on SCW's channel. I did deliver a video from him for us, and Scripps is a part of it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. This is like the world's most elaborate prank. I ain't falling for this.
It's all War of the Worlds, Eric.
With that, let's head over to the place. Sorry, I was gonna say something inappropriate. I'm not gonna say it.
So somebody check this man.
AEW Dynamite. What's going on over here? What's going on with the booms?
A lot of stuff going on with the booms, and I want to talk about this real quick. Death Triangle versus the Elite opened the show, and I don't know if it's the Elite. Most likely it's the Elite. Most likely it's Tony Khan. But whoever's booking this entire series just loves NBA. They love the NBA playoffs. They love the NBA finals. I tweeted this, talked about it on the show. They're doing the exact same script as the Golden State Warriors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron came back from 3-1 to get the victory over the powerhouse Warriors. Elite take another loss. They go down 3-1, as I predicted in the beginning, and now they're going to come roaring back to get that. Oh, the Death Triangle blew a 3-1 lead. All that stuff that happened during those finals, they're trying to go for it here, which is cool. It just, for me, it's predictable. So if you're not a basketball fan, and you're seeing this, maybe it'll be cool for you. But that's just my prediction. That's how it's going to go. Eric, don't put the title line for this. I'm all for it. But we're getting banger of matches, though. At the very least, these matches have been on fire. So if they want to keep doing best of 7 series with the trios championships, I'm all for it after this.
Okay.
Everyone's looking strong. That's all I'm saying.
So are you going to be cool with the Death Triangle losing, like blowing this lead?
I think it's fine because they've looked so strong. They came out with the lead. They've been the champs. I think it's fun.
Okay.
Do you think it hurts
Owen
them?
Jackson sure looks strong after getting injured. He no-sold that, like, big time. It kind of ruined the for me. But it was a good match, but like, you can't do that. And it's obviously go to 3. Now that I know that analogy, I 100% think it's going to 7. But they laid out the rest of the matches, the stipulations. So, I mean, yeah, it is.
They did. So it was a ladder match. If it goes to 7, I think next week is no DQ or a street fight.
Okay.
Yeah, so they laid out the last 2 matches for stipulations. So it should be interesting. Yeah, that's just the way I see it, because I just feel like there's such big. I mean, they were geeking out when Giannis came to town, so they seem like big NBA fans. So I think they're looking for that 3-1 whole narrative. And after getting obliterated on the mic last week by Ricky Starks, MJF captures a victory. It was a solid match. I enjoyed it. What do you think, Zach?
I thought it was solid too. Yeah. Again, we knew it was going to be a transitional match for Starks, so hopefully it put enough on his resume for Tony Khan to realize that you do have another main event player. And I'm sorry, but Ricky Starks, I think, is better than MJF on the mic, because he just seems more authentic and he seems more razor sharp than MJF's basic jabs, like WWE jabs, or like when he makes fun of what's going on in someone's actual life. Ricky Starks is like, I don't know. I don't want to cross Ricky Starks in the street. That's all.
No, and if I had to rank it, I'm going outside of Samoa Joe. I think Ricky Starks is my number 2 on the mic.
Okay.
Take that. Yeah.
Like overall in wrestling, or like
I think in AEW, I think in AEW, I think it's hard to beat those 2. I think I'll put Britt up there. I don't think she's as good off the cuff. I think she needs like a script or something, but she's up there. I don't know who else really. Maybe Jericho, but that's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I buy that. Ricky Starks is up there.
Yeah, because I mean, when you lost Cody, like who else is that, like that promo guy over there?
Right. Yeah, he was the mouth of AEW.
Yeah, and it looks like we're getting Jungle Boy Jack Perry might be getting a new tag team partner. He picked up the victory over Brian Cage, and to come to the rescue after he gets beat up post match is Hook. Looks like we're going for the two golden boys of AEW, the 2 heartthrobs, if you will, Jungle Boy and Hook.
How is Big Bill and Lee Moriarty running away from Hook and an already down Jungle Boy?
Yeah,
I get the push from Hook, and the pop was great for Hook on Dynamite. But when he's just been doing jobbers on Rampage, Big Bill, who's so tall you can't teach it, runs away from Hook and already down Jungle Boy. They made a lot of people look weak in this show, so that was my issue with Dynamite.
That's my issue with the firm. It's like they're next up. Just we'll give you the spotlight, sort of, but you're not going to win any matches. You're not going to be a real threat.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that faction.
I do love Stokely Hathaway. He has a one-liner every week.
Yeah, he's cool. It's just I don't see this faction actually doing anything. Like, I'm sure Stokely has bigger plans for them than Tony does.
We see some cool stuff from House of Black. Oh, this was the Winter is Coming episode special. We see some cool stuff from House of Black. Action Andretti. Have you heard of him before, Eric?
I haven't, but I'm surprised they gave him a win over Jericho.
A big win over Jericho. His Razor Ramon 1, 2, 3 Kid moment. Zach, how do you feel about this one?
It's good. I know Jericho's. I don't know. Jared. It's not as big as a deal as 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Jericho, because now we know backstage it was like Jericho's idea, and also like I don't know. I'm glad for it because he's really good. I have seen him before. He's actually fantastic when you get the right opponent against him. But I don't know. Something felt a little off on it for me, but maybe it's just because it's Jericho.
I could see it. The crowd was Jobber the entire time. And let's go Jobber, let's go Jobber. And you can kind of see commentary trying to dance around it. So that was a little awkward, but it was cool. And he got the victory.
I'd be more excited. Only thing is, like I've said many times, everyone has a scene in AEW. So him winning this, I wonder what they're gonna do with him. Like,
yeah,
I feel like it's just kind of just like for nothing. I don't see him doing anything big.
Yeah, so that reminds the reason that it felt off for me was because of how I think it was Jericho was talking about it afterwards on Twitter or whatever he was doing, talking about it, about putting over new talent and all that. But it's like he's held so many talents down and actually gave them almost a ceiling as well. That I think that's why it just kind of didn't sit as well with me as the initial like pin did. Like overall to me, it was just, well, all of Jazz is, I think, held down because of him. But that's just my opinion. So
who's in that group? Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think I'm not as upset about it because when it was Inner Circle, Proud and Powerful were clearly next up to be tag champs.
Right.
Sammy Guevara was going to break through. We needed that. But now it's like Sammy Guevara's stock is so low. He actually, I feel like he needs a group more than they needed Inner Circle. And who else is it? It's Daddy Magic and Cool Hand. They're cool, but I think the Jericho rub helps them. Jake Hager's just doing whatever Jake Hager does, loving his purple hat. I think for me, the biggest one is Daniel Garcia. I think he can do a lot more.
Yeah.
That one's still pretty awkward.
Held down.
They had a good story going for him, then they kind of just dropped it. We all thought it might build to something, but it didn't really.
Yeah, that actually kind of makes me hate that whole feud even more. Like, I only stomached it because I was like, okay, I guess this leads to him being Jericho and switching sides, but nah.
Nothing. Last thing, Ruby Soho finally got her revenge over Ty Mello. Solid match. Hopefully Ruby can do a lot more. We'll see a lot more of her on TV. And then lastly, back to Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. Team TNA, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal have made their claim for the tag team titles. Pun intended, as they take out the Acclaimed. Max Caster takes a freaking guitar shot by the man who gives the best guitar shots. I don't care who else you can talk about. Not no honky tonk, no one else. The musical man himself, not Elias. The musical man himself, Double J, hardest working man in the show business.
Never in my life, at any point, did Vince McMahon ever have to be like, hey guys, I need a job. This company I started ain't working out.
But what you're forgetting is Vince McMahon started out as a billionaire. Jeff Jarrett got it from the mud. A man who started out as a wrestler, made his own company, man. Why is this not being championed? Why is this not being like applauded?
He started out in the mud. He
Greek
ended in
legend.
the mud.
Say that to AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Gail Kim, all the legends.
Oh God. Noob and Co. What's up, man? I'm not sure if I shouted you out yet, but he did bring up something from News and Rumors. But yeah, Danhausen is going to be teamed with Jericho against the Guns on the Jericho.
Yeah, the main
Cruise.
event.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I put that as the main event of my show, but that's four. You do it 4 times, you're gonna run out of town eventually. But
didn't they start out with the Elite as the main event?
Yes, it was. Yeah, the first one was literally him and the Bucks versus I can't remember. I just remember the stupid name that they came up with, like or yes, the Bucks, whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, and also you said not to mention referring to Tay and Jay are becoming more and more less interesting in the Jazz.
Yeah, they're giving what's her name, Anna Jay, that like kind of like screaming upset gimmick every time she comes out. I don't know.
I think Anna Jay needs to leave AEW. I'm sure they treat her well, but every time she finds a footing in a gimmick, so it changes.
I just think she's still really green for me. Like I think she just needs a little more time to like get seasoned. So if she did leave AEW, I think that would help just to get like more reps, like actual reps, not the AEW dark squash match reps, but actual reps on the indies where she can actually have some good matches, build her name up, besides doing it all in the spotlight. Because like all of her mistakes are just highlighted because she's in the spotlight.
Honestly, I think she's ready for NXT. I think she.
You think so?
If she goes, I mean, if she's still a little rough around the edges, I think their training would sort her out.
Mm.
And I think she can do character work. So I don't know how big she'd be, but I think she could get on TV.
Yeah.
All right, that's AEW Dynamite. Do you want to touch on Rampage at all, Zach, or do you think you nailed it with your amazing, perfect streams?
Well, I thank you. If you want to join the streams Fridays, I don't know. They might be coming to an end soon. Depends on work situations. But just the blood stuff was disgusting. The announcers even said it was. We don't need to lick John Moxley's blood, and we don't need to lick it
Oh,
off our
yeah.
lover as well. That was fucking disgusting. So it took me out of the hour, but I'm glad I had a good community of people to get me through the rest of the show. And I want to give a big shout out. Wow, this week Lana Starr starts a stable. They are moving away from just being on TV and getting more storylines. She did a great job. She reminds me of an old school like Dynasty character. I love her heel work. And they got rid of the Thor Love and Thunder font, and now they have their own font as well. So good stuff. And you guys are not on yet, so I'll keep my eyes open.
Well, now that you just said that, so we're on when Lana Starr already has like her faction established. So I guess we're way more episodes out than I thought.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not gonna say these spoilers in case you guys are watching. I'll maybe tell Zach off air, but we're a little ahead when their factions like in full throttle.
I think this is a special event or something because there's a lot of kids in last week's and this week's taping. So it's cool to see. So
they do
WoW.
bring a lot of kids.
Always,
They start bringing a lot of kids. They're getting a lot of views now, man. They're killing with the views.
Yeah. And
3 times with Impact, 4 actually.
Don't know why we needed to mention that, but
always
so who is it? It's Lana Starr. She's like an old school vet now. It's Penelope Pink, I believe, and then the 2 Miami Sweetie, which I just found out they were twins. I didn't know they were twins.
Yes, and I'd actually after they mentioned that on air, I had to double check. But then she brought in someone new last night. I forgot the name, but you can find it on your CBS affiliates. And
I forget her name too. But she's like the enforcer.
Yes.
Yeah, she was cool actually. We've seen her backstage.
Yeah. All right, that is the week recap, I believe. Unless I missed something, you guys think of?
Hey, we already covered Impact. That's all we needed to cover.
Since we covered it twice this week, we won't be covering it next week at all. All right, let's get into the news and rumors. We've got a lot of news to talk about. You guys want to save Mandy for last, since that is...
Yeah, you can probably do that at the end.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
I only have one, so I'll just get into this one really quick. News sites, this is wrestling news sites, and I put it out on our IG, so I'm responsible too. We're saying Dwayne Johnson unfollowed WB Discovery and Black Adam, and then he came out and refuted that, saying that he never followed them to begin with, and his cover banner is still Black Adam. So, but if you follow the Warner Brothers stuff, he won't be Black Adam for long. So.
Yeah, just a shame, because I mean, he was really making the play to try to shape it up.
I will say this, I feel really bad for him because of how much he wanted to do it, and it showed in the movie. It's a very forgettable movie because they do things that other movies did better. There's a kid that brought him into the new world, kind of like John Connor did with the Terminator, and gave him a catchphrase, and they did that in here, but it wasn't as good as Terminator. Other things that they did, Marvel already did it a little bit better. It was basically a version of the first Thor movie, kind of.
Okay.
I can definitely see
water,
that.
kind of.
Including lightning.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got.
How about you, Knock?
Well, shout out to Emi Sakura, who had a very emotional, very nice win in DPW, the the new Deadlock Pro Wrestling Women's World Champion, Emi Sakura. Shout out to her. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this guy on the Indies, but he wrestled in GCW. His name is Commander. This dude literally ran across all the ropes to the other side and did a Phoenix Splash. He's been doing a lot of these crazy moves. Like he runs all across the ropes and jumps out the ring. This is insane. It's something I thought about doing, but I don't know if I could run across ropes like that. But shout out to this dude. And then if you guys have been watching AEW Dark or Dark Elevation, we're getting some heavy hitters. Kenny Omega and Britt Baker are going to be on the next tapings for AEW Dark in Orlando. So check it out, man. Some heavy hitters. Great matches.
More blood,
coming.
FYI.
Huh?
More blood, FYI. I know just in the chats, a lot of people are turned off by it, so just an FYI with the Brit match.
Oh shit. Yeah, she bleeds every big moment she starts to bleed. I will say that. One of our friends, Zach mentioned SEW. It's his birthday. Shout out to him for his birthday. Another one of our friends, Dan Williams, we met around the time Rated R for Wrestling. He posted something saying early 2020 was peak wrestling. He posted a picture of all of us on a Rated for Our Wrestling's channel. Yeah, it was like 12 of us deep, man. WrestleManiac, all talking about WrestleMania and all the good stuff there.
Good times.
What?
It was real good times. Some real good YouTube channels out there, including this one.
Yes, sir. West Coast Pop, and we're close to 1K. Getting very, very close there, man.
Very close. I should learn from Zach and write my shit down because I know I'm gonna forget some news and
I
rumors.
got one more.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got one more, man. It's not so much wrestling related, but I think we all enjoy Pokemon here. And Ash Ketchum, he's retiring after 20 plus years. The 10-year-old is retiring. He will no longer be the main character of the Pokemon series. There'll be a few new other ones. So if you guys are into Pokemon, man, this is very emotional. In the first episode, he let Butterfree go, and in the last one, it's looking like he's going to come back. So a lot of good stuff there. A lot of good callbacks to the first episode. So yeah.
Wait, that wasn't the first episode.
First season.
There we go.
First season.
But yeah, I think they are finishing his run like 11 episodes or something. That's gonna be like his farewell tour, which is interesting. I've never seen that for a character, so that's pretty cool.
I mean, after 20 years of carrying a show, man, John Cena could never, but you got to give someone a proper send off after that. After 20 years,
it didn't take Cena 20 years to get the big one. All right.
That's true.
But yeah, it would be. I mean, I just want to say that might be, besides maybe SpongeBob, maybe the longest voice acting gig I could think of. If they use the same, I think they use the same voice actor.
Is it longer than Arthur?
Oh, that's a good point. You're right. Arthur is pretty long.
Close. That just ended last year, so
Yeah, we'll have to look it up.
Where he's eating at a diner and it faded to black because he didn't know if he's gonna get shot in the head.
Oh man. So let's see. I've got apparently some of the people that Trips have. So again, this is rumors because dirt sheets, they always have to bring up some drama. But apparently, some of the Triple H people that were brought back are not impressing as well as Trips thought they would. No names were mentioned. I just wanted to ask you guys: do you think anyone who's been brought back hasn't been doing their job well?
I'll be honest, man. I don't think it's really on him, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this whole Bray Wyatt thing, man. I don't know where it's going.
I'm fine with the Bray Wyatt thing just because everyone else is wrestling, so that's cool. To me, again, it's the same old shit. Braun Strowman, like, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Braun Strowman is. I don't know why they brought him back. I'll be honest.
Bray, I'm fine. I'm fine with this little, 5 minutes of like taking away from wrestling and like fun, interesting storytelling. I know it's taking a long dance time, but to me, it's interesting because I'm a horror guy. So
yeah,
and obviously I bought the merch. So
So when Bray started doing the Firefly Funhouse, I was one of the people who said this is dumb. I don't get it. And then it hit, and
same.
I fell in love with it. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I owe him for that.
Yeah, Matt and I watched it that night because someone told us about it. We're like, get the fuck out of here. And we watched it. And I was like, whatever. But you make a good point.
Yeah. Also, Nubico pointed out that Shocker, one of the main characters, is going to be Ash's daughter in the new Pokemon.
Yeah, I seen some of the pictures. I didn't know who the new character is going to be, but that should be interesting, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree, Braun, it was a weird callback. And then they tried to turn him into Wardlow for a while. That was weird.
Yeah. But he doesn't think AEW is going to last.
Right. Of course, we joked about Vince coming back, and usually when rumors like this happen, it tends to either go up, increase, yes, he's coming back, or decrease. This is heavily increased. It's heavily implied that he is very serious about coming back, that he didn't want to leave in the first place. He thought the allegations were kind of blow away, and honestly, we keep hearing about the money, coming out, and I think they just found more since he said that he wanted to come back, but it hasn't affected him as hard as it has affected other celebrities or people. So he could come back, and if he comes back, do you guys keep watching wrestling? Do you keep watching WWE, or is it back to?
It's crazy because Vince coming back helps AEW out so much, but obviously it's going to ruin WWE product. Like the balance of power is so interesting. I mean, like who's going to stay in AEW that might want to jump ship? Who's going to want to jump ship now? If Vince comes back, that all but confirms Sasha's for sure never coming back.
Right. And I mean, just the rumors of him coming back have dropped WWE stock. I think it was 33%. I can't remember. But very hard. Just the rumors. Not even him coming back. And honestly, anyone who left AEW to go back to WWE, not that AEW was as good as it should have been, because they left for a reason. But if you go back, sign a full contract, and Vince comes back, that I don't know. I don't think I'd be happy with that. And go ahead, Zach.
I was just gonna agree, and like I'd almost try to get a lawyer to say it's not breach of contract, but I'd try to find some way to say like this is not the work environment I signed up for, and I'd get out of that contract.
Right. Because I'm sure a lot of them left because of him, and they came back because he was gone. So it's It almost feels like a trap. As Knock pointed out, you mentioned Sasha. It has been reported again, like for the second time, that she is pretty much done with WWE. She's going to be at New Japan's. What's the next event? It's not Wrestle Kingdom. It is Wrestle.
It is Wrestle Kingdom, man. 17.
That's right. So she's gonna be there, and she is also taking her bookings. So she could pretty much be done. I think. I buy it. And also, side rumor, it said that WWE thinks that she peaked as a star. I don't buy it. I think fans wanted her back, but that is where we're at.
I would like to think, since Triple H liked her so much, I mean, like loved her so much, Triple H is working everyone with this. She is obviously going to New Japan, but I want to say these rumors are planted. But it's like I know WWE has the worst secret keepers in any organization, because obviously WrestleMania plans are already trying to be leaked.
Mm-hmm.
I would just hope that this is like another very cool White Rabbit kind of situation where he's playing everyone. They're putting these rumors out there that aren't true, because these are pretty shitty rumors to be out there. If you know Sasha Banks at all and her talent and her worth, she's bringing in Star Wars fans and other stuff too. I'm sorry, Becky Lynch isn't bringing in those people. So I'm just saying, worth wise, when you go to a con, she's worth more at a con than Becky Lynch is. So she's bringing all her WWE stock and Star Wars stock with her. So I'm just hoping this is a con by Triple H, and then all of a sudden she comes back and we're all fooled.
Right. It could happen. I mean, it seems like New Japan and WWE have some kind of small relationship with Carl Anderson being allowed to work there, and a New Japan wrestler could be in the Royal Rumble this year. So we'll see.
That's the big rumor. Like they are getting a New Japan. So if they're really, that's the thing too, which leads me to think maybe Zach might be right, because it seems like they're having a working relationship. Carl Anderson just wrestled in New Japan on Wednesday, and he regained his never open weight title.
He regained it.
Now, he regained it. He's boasting, saying he's the greatest never open weight champion of all time, and now he's going to go on to Wrestle Kingdom 17 and defend it.
He has to lose there, right? Like he has to.
You would imagine he would have to lose there.
Yeah.
But like to get 2 wrestling appearances while you're still signed to WWE is unheard of.
Yeah, that's crazy. This is why Vince is coming back. He's like, how dare you?
Yeah. I mean, Michael Cole's been a wild man on commentary.
I think if he comes back, Michael Cole quits. You can't give this man that level of freedom and then take it back.
You can't.
And I don't know if he's jumped. I don't know if he's better for you guys now, but I've been saying all along, he is so good at his job. The problem is Vince was in his ear and ruining him. Now that he's free,
I apologize already. I was wrong. Michael Cole is amazing.
Okay.
I was completely wrong.
Just those Cruiserweight classics open my eyes, man. When he doesn't have Vince in his ear, he's really fun to listen to.
Yeah, he's proven to me he actually knows more about wrestling than I thought he did.
Yeah. And now let's get to the main event of the news. It's a topic everyone's been talking about. Zach, do you want to explain this whole Mandy Rose situation for anyone who doesn't know? That's a no. Well, basically, I might be missing some details on that. If I do, please fill in.
I gotcha.
Mandy had some not even fully nude, but semi-nude pics on a site called Fan Time, I want to say it was. Yeah.
Yeah, fan time.
Fan Time and WWE, they found out. Reportedly, just a little side note, reportedly WWE was trying to leak rumors that Mandy had asked for her release weeks before. But they released her because they felt that the content put them in a tough spot, and they have a very weird relationship with women doing anything resembling pornography, even though we've seen them do much worse. We've seen them basically pimp out women to Playboy. Very weird situation. But as Knock pointed out before we started, she's making like $550,000 a month off this site.
A month.
Which is crazy. Not even on OnlyFans, on a OnlyFans copy site, I want to say. But yeah, we basically haven't heard anything from Mandy, I want to say, since this happened. She mentioned that she knew she would get in trouble for it eventually, but was worth the risk. So I'll toss it to you guys if I missed anything.
I don't think you did. I think you got all the hits here. It's just, it's very hypocritical, obviously, them, which we're known WWE to be hypocritical. You got them doing, they had them doing Playboy like years ago. You got people like Shawn Michaels taking the crazy shit he was doing, and a whole bunch of backstage stuff. The head of the company, Vince, or the former head of the company, Vince McMahon, all the shit he's going through right now.
Yeah.
This was a side thing which was making money. You can ask for your talent to turn down $550K a month or something that she is willingly doing. It's not like she's being forced. It's not like it's in her contract like some of the other previous talents. Right. And just she does. I think she does with her fiance. I think he's part of it too. But I mean, it's whatever she wants to do. No one even knew about this. The only reason I know about it is because they brought it up.
Right.
I would have never known this even existed unless they did. So like, I don't see how it was really hurting your company.
I want to add to that real quick. So how you said it, you didn't even know about it.
I didn't.
So every time they talk about China before they add her to the Hall of Fame, Stephanie Triple H would say, "Oh, if my kid Googles China and that comes up, then that's a problem." I literally never seen anyone, no one I knew, you guys didn't do it. No one was looking for this stuff on Mandy Rose until they brought it up. Yep. I would love to see the stats on their subscribers since they brought it up.
We talked about it. It had to have jumped. There's no way. It had to have jumped.
It had to have jumped so much. It went up from $25 a month to $40. That's how comfortable of a raise she put it up there. So
it's ridiculous.
Basically, it's the Mattel situation that they're reporting is the big deal because it does the action figures and a lot of other stuff. But I mean, if that's the case, then it's a sit down and it's a suspension, or it's a one or the other. You got to pick kind of situation because this is in the new age of the contract. And I posted something with it on our IG and kind of having conversations with people on our IG about it. It's hypocritical to a sense, especially when it was brought to the attention that Shawn Michaels was the one who said we got to get the title off her, who went and did Playboy or Playgirl. I know it's a different time and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, this is a new time where this is how people can make money. So it has to be a sit down situation, and it has to be. I think a firing is too harsh. I think they might realize that, and we may get a Royal Rumble appearance. Don't know, but I do believe that someone like Renee is going to put her on sessions and get the truth out of her. And I think she may go somewhere else as a limited time wrestler for whatever money, as long as she can keep doing this, because that's a lot
Impact wrestling.
Don't punish her anymore.
But yeah, like I think when you guys told me in the chat, like when I first heard she got released, I thought, oh, she just dropped the belt. This is what she wanted, because I remember hearing rumors before that she wanted to start a family. She just got engaged. I don't think they're married yet, so I thought she wanted to start a family. She's gonna get released, go off do that. That's what I thought. Then I heard all this other stuff come out afterwards. So it's really crazy how it all unfolded and like all the news came out. Right. But yeah, I mean,
you can't compare it to someone like people are trying to call out this is hypocritical because Wood still has a job, and Paige and the other guy still had a job after the video was out there. Totally different, totally private. Wasn't being done for money. Someone grabbed this and put it out there and
Yeah.
violated their privacy. And again, for Mandy Rose's sake too, there is a copyright privacy thing on there. When you sign up to be a monthly subscriber, you are not allowed to do this. This is illegal. And if she wanted to, she doesn't need to, I guess, money wise, but if she wanted to, she could go after said individual and sue them. So I'm just going to say him. I just have to say him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I usually like to play devil's advocate on these kind of stories, but I kind of don't want to because I'm 100% on Mandy Rose's side. So the closest I can do is I'm sure there have been stories where like a teacher or somebody in a non-public job, such as like a celebrity job, gets fired for having sexual content online or something online. So in those situations, does that make you more on the WWE side or more on the individual side? Like, should people be allowed to post their body, be it for money or for their own entertainment? If I don't know the question I'm trying to ask. If their job is against it, I guess, because it's your body, and it's your choice. Is your job allowed to regulate that?
If you sign a contract stating so, then yes, because it's in the contract and you put pen to paper. If it's not, free reign, as long as you're doing your job, no one can give two shits about it. So there was actually a teacher in the news earlier this month or late last month that happened to. So
yeah,
it's
I did see that.
Okay.
It's just crazy because like I think you just gotta be consistent. Like you can't you can't ban this teacher doing one thing that this other teacher down the hall is going wild with all the sexual allegations. It's kind of, just be consistent, if anything.
I'm just imagining Vince being that teacher.
This type of ship you running here.
I agree with you, Zach. I do. If it is in her contract saying that you can't do this, then I agree. It just gives me flashbacks of China, and that whole thing is the reason why I don't like the Hall of Fame, first of all. But just gives me some China vibes I'm not digging.
Yeah, and I'll say she wasn't even doing that, and you just built her up for 413 days. It's a sit down, it's a talking to. At most, it's a suspension unless she voluntarily wants to go. Because technically then, this is her second strike. I mean, Matt Riddle's on his second or third now this week, or whatever. So
right. Yeah, and we didn't even talk about Matt Riddle, but yeah, was Matt Riddle's just weed, or was it something harder?
I would imagine it to be something else. I thought the weed thing was all right now, but I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure.
Reports stating it's not weed, it's something harder. And then people from Matt's camp are saying it's not a big deal. And I forgot the statement. Someone put out a statement basically like tossing the whole situation out.
I will say so if you follow the stuff that Matt's been going through on social media, he is going down a dangerous trail. Like I think he could get fired at some point. We had that whole thing with his ex-girlfriend basically releasing those messages. The drug thing. And I think he just now got a new girlfriend who is an adult actress who I hope does not. I think the last one was too, and that was kind of iffy. So hopefully this one doesn't end up in the same scenario, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of crazy.
I'm wondering why
Seth
Bobby Lashley
Rollins.
got rehired. What's that?
It's just crazy too how Seth Rollins like took all that shit to put it out publicly on the promo. That's like an AEW style promo, just going out like that. Because Riddle's in some shit.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why Bobby Lashley got rehired via Twitter, this is why he got rehired on Tuesday. So whatever storyline they were going with, which some think is a in-ring return for Adam Pearce, that's why this was done on Twitter.
I wish that if they were going to do an in-ring return, I think it was best when he was going against Roman. But that was a good time to do it.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Such a generic
Bobby's
look,
just as
too.
good.
Yeah, Impact, yeah.
Tapped out Drew McIntyre at Mania.
I don't remember that. That's not my Mania. And with that, that's the news and rumors.
That was a long one this week. It was a good one. A lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, a whole lot of stuff. Carnage Rage just pops up to say that Samoa Joe is going to be an executive producer for Ring of Honor as well as an in-ring competitor. That's a good call. That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
All right. That went kind of long, but we're going to fit this in. By the hook or the crook, we're going to fit this in because this is the third annual West Coast Pop Poppy Awards. The end of the year awards, we are going to give the shout-outs to the people who deserve it, the people who work their asses off all year. We might have a part 2 to this next week. We'll see if I get enough awards, enough categories for next one. Tonight, we've got 6 or 7 categories we're going to discuss. Now, I put some nominees on there who I think were obvious choices just to get the ball rolling. But if you guys can think of anyone else who deserves the award, feel free to let us know. The winner,
Impact Wrestling.
next week I'm making that. The Impact Award is coming. Whoever just completely failed.
Who had the biggest impact?
Way it goes is 2 out of 3 of us have to agree to give someone the award. So if you let us know in the chat if someone you think should get it while we're discussing it. First up, the first award goes to. Wait, where's my slideshow? Don't tell me. No, my slideshow's missing.
Oh no.
All right, here we go. First off, before I actually get to the awards, I want to give a shout out because every year we've done this. We always say the same sentence. We should have watched Stardom. We should pay more attention to Stardom. And we just.
I want to be clear. I did not say this. I watch Stardom quite often, actually.
You've been letting us sleep on some of the possible wrestlers of the year.
Yes. I've been trying to tell you guys about Impact, lesser Stardom, but let's finish.
All right. Well, I just want to give praise where it's deserved. We might not give enough praise to these people during the actual awards, but shout out to Stardom. It's constantly giving 5-star matches, constantly giving some great stuff. I just need to check them out more. They need to be on my list frequently. Specifically, I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation because I've never heard this said.
I might have you, bro. Go ahead and say it.
All right, Giulia. I'm not too sure. Giulia.
Oh yeah. She has a crazy finish, like the spinning, like twisty, like DDT type thing. I thought it was like Julia.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong.
That actually makes a lot more sense. So Julia.
I could be wrong, but I've been seeing her a lot.
Starlight Kid and Sayuri. I've been seeing a lot of people say that they should be wrestler of the year, not just for women, like just period. I haven't seen their stuff this year, so I haven't had them nominated. But shout out to Stardom, shout out to those 3. Shout out to Women of Wrestling, just awesome, just amazing. And shout out to Bryan Danielson, just because he's him. He's a gift to pro wrestling.
Yes, he is.
And shout out to you, people watching us right now, because you guys are amazing also. Is there anyone that you two think deserves a shout out that you think we might not give the praise to these awards?
I can't think of anything because I don't know the awards, but I mean, if something does, we'll put it out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on Stardom, which I've been catching up on a lot. So, yeah, I think you got it.
All right. First category, breakout of the year. This doesn't have to be a rookie. It could be someone who just, for some reason, this year was a great year for him. You know, they really stepped up. Obvious nominees I've got listed: Sheamus for his work with Volter. Roxanne, starting off as ROH champion, ending as NXT champion. Dax Harwood, kind of just becoming a single competitor. Liv Morgan, for her work as SmackDown Women's Champion. Wendy Chu, I haven't seen her stuff that much, but I know you guys like her. And Jamie Hayter for getting over organically and being AEW Women's Champion. If there's anyone else you guys can think of, feel free to add them.
So I would go Roxanne, but I just think the impact being on NXT wasn't as big as someone like Jamie Hayter. And I think Sheamus is a little too late for it to be a breakout for me. I'm gonna go Jamie Hayter because her thing was just supernatural. She got a big win. Again, probably the best women's title match in company history. And they just got to keep this championship run going. Like, keep the momentum going. Like, I feel like they kind of cooled it down a bit, but I'm still going Jamie Hayter for breakout of the year.
I'll agree with Jamie Hayter. Everyone else, I think, maybe it's just because her momentum's still going. But I'm just going to say Jamie Hayter because everyone else kind of like peaks and valleys or just is now in a valley. But that was the nicest organic way to fix a messy situation with whatever's going on between Britt and Thunder Rosa, then whatever else was going on, and with just throwing in Saraya into the mix when another storyline with Britt and Jamie Hayter was going on. Like, I'm not even mad that that's not happening now, and it'll happen later. So yeah, I'm very happy with when she's on the TV.
I agree. I'll throw some honorable mentions. I'll throw in Willow Nightingale and maybe even Jade Cargill. I think this might have been her year that she kind of broke out.
Okay.
I don't think the matches were there for Jade.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I almost put her on this list, but I didn't know if you would count this as her breakout. All right, we'll give it to Jamie. I know I put him in the disappointing column last week, just because I don't know. I'm not thinking his attitude about it, but I think I'll give my throwaway vote to Dax Harwood, just because he's broken out of FTR. If Cash Wheeler were to retire tomorrow, Dax has established himself as a singles competitor. But Jamie Hayter is our breakout star of the year.
Yeah, shout out to Jamie.
Poppy in the mail tomorrow. Make sure you get on that, Zach. Next up, tag team of the year. Which tag team stands above the rest? We've got the Usos. We got the Acclaimed, FTR, Swerve in Our Glory, the New Day, RK Bro for their work before the Randy Orton injury. Any other tag teams you guys can think of, feel free to add. I am going to start off and give my vote to FTR.
Ooh.
All the titles they won this year. The double dog collar match. I saw that look. The double dog collar match. I don't know. I think I had more fun watching them than I did the Usos this year.
I think I talked about it a little bit there. I said, storyline wise for the Impact, I mean, the Usos sort of unified champions and Bloodline, big storyline going. So, I understand why they were in the one tag team. Match wise, it was FTR by a mile. Acclaimed, they could have been a contender for breakout of the year. Actually, Acclaimed could have been. It was if you had tag teams.
That's true.
But I don't think they were quite there for tag team of the year. I'm gonna go FTR, but I do want to give a shout out to Aussie Open. They didn't get enough credit on the previous list that we're not going to mention because the poppies are more important. But shout out to Aussie Open. I'm gonna give it to FTR though, because I mean just the Briscoe matches. Again, Briscoe's another one who didn't get enough credit because they were part of those matches as well. The Briscoe trilogy was insane. So shout out to FTR.
I'm going to give it to the Usos just because I was more entertained watching the Usos, and I feel like this FTR year was with the Briscoes, and it takes two to tango, in my opinion, just with that, because I do not think their personalities really come over. I think Dax on Rampage was the best I've seen him on the mic, and it was very brief, but it was good. I like that. Otherwise, I'm not a big fan. The Briscoes match was awesome, but the Usos were putting on banger matches. They were doing backstage segments that were great. They were doing in-ring segments that were great.
That's true.
And I got to remember to give FTR. I have their Triple A Mania belt right here. I forgot that they left it at my house. So those belts mean nothing. I'm sorry. That belt collecting shtick is done up by too many people in wrestling, and I wasn't a big fan of it with FTR because they don't need it.
Is there anyone in the chat that can back up Zach? Can we take this to overtime? Numiko has Jamie Hayter for the last one. Anyone for this tag team of the year, Usos or FTR?
I mean, if someone in the chat gives us a reason for the Usos, I could be swayed. It's just when I think of the Usos, I think of the Bloodline. I enjoyed their work as the Bloodline more than them as a duo this year. Next up, match of the year.
Ooh.
Now, obviously, I
heavy hitter.
Every match that was great this year, but some notable ones. You got Cody versus Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell 2022. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, WrestleMania 38. Sheamus versus Gunther, Clash at the Castle. FTR versus Briscoes. I put the dog collar match. It just got in there. John Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta on Rampage. And I put this because everybody seems to like it. Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door.
Man, we're just throwing anything on here, I guess.
No
that was even Ospreay's top 10 match of the year.
For I was looking up the best matches, and everywhere I look, people mention this match. Apparently, people love it.
I just think people hype this up a little too much. I fuck with it; it's dope, but I wanted Ospreay versus someone else. I'll be honest.
I honestly put that over the match I think I enjoyed the most, which was Pac versus Orange Cassidy. But...
Ooh. It's a good ass list. It's really hard to go against Cody and Seth. Like, I think, like, technical wise, wrestling, I don't know if that was the best match. I don't know if that was their best match. But because of what Cody brought to the table, how they played it off, what Seth did, for me, it's between that match and Becky versus Bianca.
I'm going Cody and Seth because this match was like the reason why Cody was my favorite for so long. Like, this was that Cody, the grandson of a plumber, the son of the American dream, the one who was not in his head and trying to like be what he already was, not trying too hard. And the injury was very fucking impressive, like, to watch him fight with.
Agree on Cody and Seth. That was very memorable. It was an actual match. It wasn't like they went at it. They went for it. Cody didn't care. Seth was giving it 100%. I did like FTR and the Briscoes. That's my second, I think, maybe of the year. But I have a huge problem with that match because of production. If you watch mainly the Briscoes strikes, the camera isn't where it needs to be, and you saw the gap every time. The Briscoes strikes were all, you do it for safety, obviously, but the production needs to be on top of it. And hopefully this new guy from WWE that's now in AEW and is going to change the look of AEW in January. He just started, I think, this week. Those things will be avoided because that took me out of the match. But it was still a great match. I'm just saying that's why, to me, it's not match of the year, but Cody and Seth for sure.
Man, we're missing a whole lot of Impact matches. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, hang on. Hey, did you guys put Impact matches on here? Oh, there's no good ones. All right, yeah, sorry. Yeah, not my choice. That's the committee.
Unbelievable. I think if there's any honorable mentions on here. Like, Wheeler versus Moxley was good. That's the match to get him into what's it called?
Breakout.
The Blackpool Combat Club, right?
But yeah.
That
was, yeah.
That was a good match. I think. I mean, if you two voted for Cody versus Seth, I'm not mad at it. I'll put a vote for Bianca and Becky just to get a vote on there for them.
Yeah, that was Becky's best match, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he doesn't usually show up at Mania.
Yeah, not like that. Not like that.
Yeah,
was a good match.
Next up, must-see promotion of the year. Which promotion has earned those views? Which one do you have to watch? We've got WWE, AEW, MLW, Ring of Honor, WOW, and United Wrestling Network. I didn't put every promotion under God's Son on there, so if there's one you want, feel free. But I'm going to toss my vote to WOW because this year has not been AEW's best. It's the cracks are really starting to form. The women's division is still hurting. They've got some stuff they need to fix. I would say WWE for all the creative stuff, but this Mandy Rose thing kind of sliding in towards the end just reminded me that this company is still, it's still not morally the best. And wow, I really respect all the work they're putting in. They're working their asses off. You can see it every episode. We saw it in production. The women are amazing. This isn't just a paid promotion. We're not even getting paid. This isn't just to get them on our good side. I actually really think WOW is must see. So WOW is my vote.
I'll piggyback off that and agree because that is my most fun hour of wrestling every week. MLW is fun to do. You can watch the streams as well. Those are fun, but they're still pre-taped and they're not going to start up until the new year. NXT, the 2.0 stuff, and they're still kind of doing stuff that I think is a little wonky. The handling of Mandy, obviously. WWE, most of the year was still Vince. Most of the Triple H era was fixing Vince stuff, and we're still going into 3 hours Monday night, which I'm not a big fan of. AEW, It's fallen off. The ROH stuff really ruined it. The booking of the women's division is, I think, the biggest travesty of the year. But WOW is entertaining. WOW is talent. WOW is like the production keeps going up every set of tapings. You can tell they figure stuff out a little bit more, and you can tell the talent are having fun, especially if you follow them online and their postings and they're into it. So I'm loving that. Yeah,
it's hard to go against the Laker-owned, Jeannie Buss-owned WOW promotion, but I'm going to have to raise you with Stardom, man. Stardom has been on fire for the entire year. Every time I see a great move, a great match, new great wrestler. There's so many people on there that's just killing it. So I think WoW's going to take it, but I'm going to vote Stardom. And just for views, just for an honorable mention, we really got to take a closer look at Impact Wrestling. We really got to just appreciate if you want to look at good women's division, Knockout division has never been bad. They've killed it ever since. Tag team division, world championship division, like TNA is so underrated. It really brings a tear to my eye, man, how criminal it is. But shout out to Stardom. That's taking my vote.
Like cutting onions.
Yeah, that's true. Shout out to Stardom. Also, shout out to United Wrestling Network.
And yeah, Impact Wrestling can go to different lengths, storytelling wise, that no one else is willing to go. They've already killed off 2 people. 2.
Okay, did you hear the different ends of the spectrum in that this man's excited for murder and I'm horrified. This man's been desensitized.
Unreal. He probably smiles when he plays State of Emergency by Rockstar on the PlayStation 2.
In the chats, Noob & Co, he puts his vote for WoW as well. Primetime, he's voting AEW. And Noob & Co adding this year hasn't been WWE's best year with the whole nonsense. Because, I mean, yeah, you're right. That half of that was Vince, and that shit was hard to watch. And Noob & Co says, NWA is still my best time to watch. Just don't watch Tyrus. Just watch the star of NWA, the Crush Herself, Natalia Markova. I forgot Tyrus was champion. That is the funniest thing in wrestling right now.
That's what happens when you make an internet splash. The water settles.
And I was saying before, shout out to United Wrestling Network, because every time I see them pop up on my feed, they've always got something cool going on. I just saw their January next year's show already lining up. I think they have... Damn, I can't remember. I have to post it on the channel later. But they got their card up and it's okay. It's good. Next up. Sorry, what's up?
Nothing. I just said a word.
Oh, okay. Next up, champion or champions of the year. Which champion has held the gold the highest? First up, nominees Roman Reigns, the Usos, Liv Morgan, FTR. I swear I had this on here before she lost it. Mandy Rose, and Jade Cargill. Air champions you guys can think of. Feel free.
So again, I'll throw it out there. Josh Alexander, the Impact Wrestling World Champion, who's looking to break all the reigns. He's next up is AJ Styles and Bobby Roode. We got Jordan Grace as Women's Champion, Knockouts Champion. Shout out to Kairi Sane for being the first ever IWGP Women's Champion. Don't ask Carl Anderson, but he thinks he's the greatest ever. The answer is Roman Reigns, so I'll cut the chicks. The answer is Roman Reigns, and it's not even close.
Oh.
Personally, I want to say Bianca Belair, just because what she's doing with the belt reminds me of when I was growing up and champions were with the belt. They were doing stuff with like all these other committees. I do believe they have an old malnourished man who used to do this during the PG era of the early 2000s. But this is like old school, what a champion represents to me. I know people are going to say like she hasn't had a lot of matches maybe or whatever, or maybe it's the challengers, but I think Bianca Belair, just because again, she's doing all these different organizations. She's doing the weightlifting competition or the bodybuilding thing that she did like 2 weeks ago. She's doing exactly what a champion should do. She's bringing eyes to WWE in the championship. So that to me is my winner.
I agree.
I'm torn because I feel like the correct answer is Roman Reigns.
It's the correct one.
But
I can't argue if he wins. I say that.
Well, I think Zach is also right. Because I mean I do think the challengers just haven't been there for Bianca. I haven't felt like big match urgency since maybe Bailey. And not even like the last one.
Like that's not really her fault though, you know?
Yeah, like that's not her. And she is doing some like I see more of her outside WWE doing stuff than I would say I think for big matches. Whereas with Roman, he's not defending that. He defends.
He's a spectacle. I mean, promo after promo, he's an attraction. I mean, I don't like Logan Paul, but he had that match. The Brock match at SummerSlam. He's had pretty solid matches that weren't really conventional wrestling, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was entertaining as fuck.
And he's a part-timer, and everything he does works 100% with the character. And I'm not bored with him, so I can't argue if he does win.
I will give honorable mentions before I even give my vote to Moxley, because even though this wasn't the reign for him, the man put off his vacation to carry us through. And shout out to Gunther too. I didn't think this IC reign would be much because we knew Vince hated him for some reason, but it's been something. I think I have to say the correct answer is Roman. Although personally, in my heart it's Bianca, but I'll vote for Roman. He is the final boss of WWE. You don't know who's going to win. Yeah. So he's the champion of champions this year. Next up, male wrestler of the year nominees: Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Kazuchika Okada, because of course he deserves to be on this every year, Jon Moxley, and of course the man who should win it every damn year, the man who deserves our praise, our love, every positive thing. He deserves your firstborn child.
The man who deserves 69
Cena.
cents a day so you can feed him.
Oh man, this one's tough. I think.
Go ahead.
You got it.
All right. I was gonna say because I feel like Roman is the obvious answer, but I'm going for the man who had the most losses at one point this year. Never felt like it. The man who I think carried Monday Night Raw even through the bad times. Seth freaking Rollins, who I admit I could not stand the year before, but he has won me over. And I'm singing along with his theme song now. Seth Rollins has my vote.
Okay, so I love Roman doing great stuff, but I think, like you guys said, he hasn't really wrestled. So for this part, I can't give him Wrestler of the Year if he barely wrestles. Seth Rollins has been a workhorse. He's lost. Doesn't even matter. He's lost. His stocks never dropped. He's been killing it, making everyone look like $1 million. I see Moxley in the chat. I see Roman in the chat. Fuck, Moxley carried AEW, man, when they needed him the most. There's so many good wrestlers all over the place, but for male wrestler of the year, it has to be Seth Rollins.
I'll agree. My second place is going to be Moxley, just because he got pulled in left and right throughout the year to do stuff, and he went through with it and still put on big matches. I'm not a fan of the bleeding. It's honestly really old, and it kind of turns me off now. It's not even a thing anymore. But still, I love watching the guy's matches. Not the biggest fan of his promos, but if we're talking wrestler of the year, he's my second place. But Seth Rollins, man, week in, week out, he's putting on matches that are like 2 to 3 commercial lengths usually, and he is carrying Monday Night Raw. So,
yeah, got to give a shout out to Will Ospreay. Michael Oku was killing it also this year. Who else we got under there? Yeah, I think that's Speedball Mike Bailey and Josh Alexander, of course, from Impact Wrestling. I don't think there's anyone from NWA I'll put on this list, but I think that's it for me.
So give a shout out to Richard Holiday too. He was the most entertaining part with Alicia Toot in MLW. The reason he did not get the belt off Hammerstone is because he did get diagnosed with cancer, so he's dealing with that. But he's got a great positive attitude. But he was a big draw for me for MLW of the year. So,
best wishes to him. Yeah, I mean, it was a tough one. I'm just mad. You know, if Cena had his match on this episode of SmackDown, I think he would have won it. I think we'd have to vote for him. But that's fine. He's got next year. It's all good. It's all good in the Cena Nation hood. Next up, and probably the last one, female wrestler of the year. Nominees: Mandy Rose, Bianca Belair, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill, and Rhea Ripley. What you guys got?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Mandy. She made NXT. Braun Breaker did nothing for me. Their tag champs, just nothing wrong with the position of the tag champs or the North American Championship. Loved Carmelo Hayes with it all year and doing stuff with other wrestlers. But Mandy carried NXT She carried NXT 2.0. She built up Toxic Attraction to people that the internet might not have known about, and maybe did, but Mandy Rose for sure. So that's another reason why I just kind of fucking hit this week.
I think I messed up by not putting Rhea in Breakout of the Year, because I think I would say this Judgment Day stuff is her big time for me. But
yeah,
I kind of want to vote for her because I feel like everyone in Judgment Day is doing great, but Rhea is next level. She is, I can't even say carrying, but man, she's doing amazing stuff. Like,
she's the attitude of the whole stable. Everyone else is doing great, but yeah, she's the attitude. She's the thumbnails. She's the memes. She's everything for Judgment Day. I feel like she is the leader.
right. And honestly, I think even like the few weeks before Vince got outed, I think she was the only reason I had any hope in this faction at all, even though I hated it back then. Unless one of you can change my mind, I might be leaning towards her.
Well, I love Bianca Belair. Obviously, she does outside stuff. Ring, great match with Becky, been killing it all year. Britt, Jade, everyone on this list is great. Mandy Rose, when I get down to the thick of it, man, if I really had to put on a top list, I don't think she's there yet to be on wrestling wise to be on this top list. Because when I look at Stardom and I see you mentioned her earlier, Eric Suri, she's been putting on banger after banger after banger like she's the Celtic Warrior. I mean, if I go down this list, bro, the first match that comes to mind is this woman, Siri versus Mayu Iwatani. Check that match out from Stardom. 5 out of 5 stars, as much as you can make it. The current champion, she's been killing it. Siri also versus, I'm going to butcher his name, Utami Hayashishita. Hopefully I said that correct. Just match after match. She's the reason people are coming to Stardom and watching. So she's like the star right there. Would love to see her versus Kyrie. Definitely check that out. Kyrie Sane's also over there. So as far as like in-ring work, when I'm seeing like shit I've never seen before, when I'm seeing like just for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, match after time, like I'm gonna go with Siri from Stardom. But I love Bianca, and Jade's still killing it. I don't think Jade's quite there yet in-ring wise, but her character's off the charts.
Yes, agree.
Then in that case, I think I'm fine with us having a three-way tie. A three-way tie. This better not end up in no best of clips.
Oh man.
Later on. I think all three of those women can get the award because I can't change off Rhea. I think out of everyone on this list, when I see her pop up on screen, I'm most excited for her out of everyone. I think Mandy Rose did carry the hell out of NXT, and even on her social media, she really like sold that she was the champion. And yeah, I've been seeing nonstop how good Siri is. Whenever I look up who's the best, she pops up. So I think they can all win it this year. All right, that is all we've got for tonight. Might have a mini part 2 at some point, but that was the West Coast Poppies this year. Thank you all for joining the chat, for helping us decide who really excelled this year. Really appreciate it. With that, Knock, would you care to do the introduction?
With all that said, West Coast Poppies, we're going strong, man. 817 subs, I believe, today. What's closer to 1K. But you guys know what time it is, man. 137 episodes in. It is time for the main event of the evening. Zach, take it away with Promo School.
Right, Promo School, we are doing an award show. I figured, Eric, if you don't mind being the one today to do the promo, Knock, you can give him an award. You say what award he won and who he is. And then Eric, if you could give a heelish promo to other people that you feel were nominated for the same award.
Okay. Also, you know what? I just remembered. I wanted to give a shout out too. Also, Game Awards just happened. Knock, maybe you remember his name because I forgot, but the voice actor for God of War for Kratos.
Christopher Judge.
Thank God, what a speech that was. If you haven't seen it, look it up. That was just amazing.
Do my ears deceive me? Eric's giving credit to a God of War actor.
Yeah, the second place, yeah. Who won that Game of the Year award again?
Who knows, man? They're just giving awards away. Oh, man.
All right, Knock, whenever you're ready, Eric is who and what award did he win?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Eric, what's my guy's name? You always talk about him. Keith David. You're Keith David. You just won Actor of the Year. You won an Oscar.
So since he was in Nope, if you want to use that, and then if you maybe to make it easier.
So it'll be best supporting actor. Nope.
Okay. And then if you want to rip on anything, any movies that came out this year that you want to include, or any actors of this year, or if you want to be general, that's fine. But a heel, Keith David winning Best Supporting Actor for Nope. What you just watched last week?
If you want to stall for a second, I'd appreciate that.
Well, definitely can stall. I'm going to talk about previous awards when it came up last week. God of War Lost. Now I've been playing God of War Ragnarok for on and off for about a month now. I'm just trying to find time, and this game is still so good. The side missions, you're exploring all 9 realms in Norse mythology. Like, come on, bro. How is this not Game of the Year? The story, everything's just so golden. It's so hard to put the game down. I find myself waking up early, and next thing I know, it's nighttime. It's a great game. It should have won over Elden Ring. I'm hugely disappointed. The belt didn't come to me. It's damn near criminal to see a 10 out of 10 game not win Game of the Year. But it was that just means all the good games coming out, though. We have all these good games. I think Horizon was on the list. Zach played Stray, crazy ass cat game. So many games coming out, man. So definitely jump on the wave, man. PS5,
Midnight
Xbox,
Suns.
Switch, Midnight Suns, and turned the whole narrative around. It's actually a good game.
Hogwarts Legacy's coming out, and
Which I heard
there's one more big one coming out.
I meant to mention this. I heard you could kill people at Hogwarts, which I was completely shocked.
Yeah.
Some of the
And
spells,
torture.
like what was that in the movies?
Yeah.
Nope. Was it?
Well, no. They didn't show Harry. It's in the books, but it's not in the movie. That's right. They didn't show.
Okay.
Yes.
Damn. Hogwarts Legacy, man. Next year, right? February.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Not
Yes.
February.
Also,
Is it February? Is it March or a little bit later?
I think it's springtime. February though, at Universal, Super Mario World is coming.
Yes. I might get some clips of that. I'm going to Super Mario World like as soon as I can, man. I'm excited. We usually go to Universal once a year for Horror Nights, but damn it, we're gonna make it 2.
Oh yeah. All right. This is gonna be a terrible Keith David impersonation. I've been watching him nonstop on Rick and Morty, listening to his voice, and now when it counts, I can't remember what his voice sounds like.
That's okay. I'll lead you in whenever you want, Eric.
All right, go ahead.
All right, and the winner for Best Supporting Actor in a Film from Nope, Keith David.
Wow, it's been a long time coming. I've been entertaining you motherfuckers since the thing. Quite frankly, it's nice to see my work finally be recognized. I mean, I've just been on every screen, every video game, every television. It only took you guys this long to give me a damn award. But quite frankly, I've had some great competition. Shout out to J.K. Simmons. J.K., you suck. Shout out to Cody Smith McPhee. Quite frankly, Cody, you had no shot at this, but thank you for showing up. Don't forget your goodie bag on the way out. Jesse Plemons. I just want to say I'm sorry, Jesse. I know you really wanted this, but the better man won. The better man will continue to win. And quite frankly, Jesse, I've never seen the movie you were in. So keep at it, and one day Hollywood will make a star of you yet. And of course, I want to say to all you people out there who show love for Denzel and Samuel, where's my love, damn it? Do you people not know what I have done? Have you ever played Mass Effect? I carried that motherfucker. Have you ever watched Rick and Morty? You ask people to name a black president, they say Keith David. And last but not least, nope. I was in that motherfucker for 15 minutes, and I was all over the marketing. I carried that movie. Now, no offense to Kiki, but quite frankly, my name should be top billing. But I'm going to take this award in the name of all the black men who work their asses off, just to be underappreciated. Have you ever met a man who beat Roddy Piper in a fair fight? I'm the one who did that. But I'll be back next year doing 15 projects while Leo does 1. So good night to all. And to all, I am the best.
Oh, man.
Well done.
The streets needed that one.
I love it.
Yeah, I fucking love Keith David. Have you seen the last Rick and Morty episode?
No, I got 3 on deck that I got to get through.
He's in it. It's fucking great.
Nice job. Also, Mass Effect Trilogy is, I think, the free game next month for PlayStation.
Real
Nice.
whole ass trilogy.
Yep. Nice job. Like it.
Thank you. Well, that is it. One of our longer episodes in a while, but you know what? We had to get through all that news. We had to get through the poppies. We had to get through promo school. This is what you get when you subscribe to the West Coast POPcast. Go ahead, send the link to your friends, your families, your loved ones, your enemies. Make them turn into loved ones when you give them this great content. Help us get to 1,000 subs. If you are watching this and you ain't subbed, you are a motherfucker, as Keith David has said. With that, any last words from you, Knock?
Shout out to everybody watching, man. Thank you for getting us to 817 subs, man. We're getting closer and closer to 1K. Really appreciate you guys. We're gonna get that duck off Zach streams. Just checking some of our analytics, man. Zach's shorts up to 5.5K with the MJF videos. Thanks for supporting those shorts, man. Thanks, Zach, for putting it to work. Eric put it to work on this whole stream, man. Hosted the West Coast Poppies 3rd annual celebration, third annual, 3 years going. Really appreciate you guys. Steiner Math, WWE annual, Anyways, shout out to everybody, man, for supporting us. We really appreciate you guys. Next week is Christmas. We don't know if we're going to have a show or not, but we're going to have something for you guys. So definitely check it out. And tis the season.
Tis the season. Any last words, Zach?
Just make sure you subscribe. If you're not watching this live, hit us up in the comments. We comment back. We love to talk with you. And also make sure you subscribe to the bell icon. Like, I'll randomly do MLW stuff. Random videos will pop up. These guys will randomly game. We don't know when. It depends on our busy ass schedules. So when we do, we'd like you there in the comments section to check it out.
True that. And also, you know what? I forgot to mention, if you guys aren't busy on the 30th, there's a very important event going on that we're all going to enjoy. John Cena makes his return in ring action. He is going to walk into that arena. He is going to slap some heads. He's going to take the ratings. He's going to make Rampage his bitch. He's going to prove to you all why he deserved the Poppy this year. And I'm going to be there for it. I'm going to get my plane ticket. I'm going to sneak in the back. And I'm going to say to him, Mr. Cena, I can't believe I'm finally going to get to watch you live. Would you like me to shine your boots before you go out there? And oh my God. And he's going to make me his Peacemaker sidekick. I don't know, probably Peace Boy. I don't know. But it's going to be beautiful. It's amazing. So watch SmackDown Live for Johnny C. It's going to be amazing. Zach, with that, would you please kindly let them know where can they find us until the 30th? Zach,
you lost him.
You can find us watching John Cena. You can find us in hibernation until the 30th. You can find us re-watching every John Cena match, picking them apart. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great week. If we don't see you on Christmas, Merry Christmas. Stay excellent.